Our unwavering loyalty, relentless zeal, and fierce passion define us. Our divine strength and devotion to the God Emperor and the memory of our Primarch form the core of our identity. Among the Adeptus Astartes, it is we who have endured the longest, sacrificed the most, and remained steadfast with the fewest wavering moments. Our legacy stretches over 10,000 years, forged through centuries of hardship and valor. Yet, in a single careless instant, all could be lost, a single lapse of discipline or resolve. Once there was a faction known as the Dark Angels of the First Legion, who turned against everything they once stood for. They betrayed their brothers and even their progenitor, the Gene Father, driven by treachery and selfishness. Led by a man who should have been the epitome of loyalty and devotion, Luther, their betrayal was rooted in personal weakness and vanity. This fracture led to the destruction of the noble world Caliban, a devastation still mourned today. Luther's realization of his own fragility drove him to despair, his treacherous followers fractured under his corrupted command. Meanwhile, the Gene Father's own efforts and leadership were challenged, and the chapter's unity shattered, the brotherhood torn asunder. The most profound secrets of the Dark Angel's past are shrouded in obscurity. Successive leaders and veterans have deliberately hidden the true history, obscuring it behind layers of allegory, metaphor, and sealed records. The events that shaped the chapter's foundation continue to influence every son of the Lion, their legacy echoing into the future. Only the most seasoned warriors within the Dark Angels and their successor chapters are aware of what truly transpired when Lionel Johnson returned to Caliban following the Horus Heresy. Luther, once a loyal knight of Caliban, discovered the infant Primarch, a feral child living wild and unkempt. At first, he saw only a savage creature and resolved to bring him to civilization. A bond of brotherhood formed as they hunted together amidst Caliban's dark forests, and Luther was appointed guardian of the planet during the Primarch's absence. During the Horus Heresy, however, darkness crept into Luther's heart, and he began to harbor rebellious thoughts. When Lionel Johnson finally returned with his fleet, Luther's betrayal became evident. He ordered his warriors to fire upon the returning fleet. The ensuing battle devastated the Legion's very soul. Thousands of their brothers fell in the brutal conflict. Caliban was scarred and shattered as devastating superweapons and laser fire tore it apart from orbit, ordered by the Lion himself. The most pivotal confrontation was between Lionel Johnson and Luther, who had, by then, been infused with the dark powers of forbidden gods. Though the Lion emerged victorious, he hesitated to slay his former comrade, a moment of noble doubt. Luther, meanwhile, struck back with dark sorcery, and the battle left scars that would never fade, shaping the course of the chapter's history forever. As Luther gazed upon the gravely wounded form of his Primarch, a profound realization swept over him, clearing away the illusions he had held. The true magnitude of his actions became painfully clear, shattering his once steady mind. His agony resonated through the immaterium, tumultuous and fierce enough to ripple across the galaxy. The strength of his remorse was so immense that it sparked a fierce warp storm, threatening to engulf the planet Caliban itself. Though how this was possible remains a matter of speculation, even among the most knowledgeable librarians. The Tempest fleet had nearly annihilated Caliban, a world already weakened by relentless bombardments, leaving its surface scarred and its defenses broken. In the chaos, fallen Dark Angels loyal to Luther were cast into the warp, scattered across countless eras and regions of space. When Loyalist survivors finally traced their Primarch amid the ruins, they found only a shattered husk. Luther, reduced to a trembling wreck, babbling about the Watchers in the dark and claiming that the Lion had been taken away. He insisted that one day the Primarch would return and offer forgiveness. Luther was captured, imprisoned, and hidden from all sight, while the core of the once glorious Legion was shattered. Despite search efforts spanning the remaining fragments of their homeworld and the loss of most of their brethren, they could find no trace of the Primarch. The Dark Angels faced an uncertain future, grappling with grief, loss, and the challenge of rebuilding amid ruins. Yet the lion had instilled in his gene sons an unshakable resilience and enduring stoicism born from years as the emperor's vanguard. This strength would become crucial, for the Imperium was drastically different from its former self. After Horus's rebellion against the emperor, mistrust and chaos had taken root, making the galaxy a fractured and dangerous place. Even after Horus's defeat, many worlds operated without oversight, plagued by piracy and ignorance. The remnants of imperial authority, those few still connected to the fallen emperor, faced endless tasks on countless planets, constantly hunting treacherous acts and traitors. Suspicion shadowed every corner of imperial life as investigations revealed corruption and treachery at all levels. Entire worlds endured weeks of flames and violence as heretics were purged, rivers of blood flowing in retribution. The Imperium was steeped in paranoia, and innocent lives were sacrificed in its relentless pursuit of vengeance. In this climate, the Dark Angels knew they carried culpa for what had transpired on Caliban. They believed that if their deeds were ever uncovered, they would be branded as heretics themselves. Isolated within their secretive brotherhood, the Legion's leaders devised measures to ensure its survival after enduring so much. They resolved that the Dark Angels would be reborn, renewed in purpose, and committed anew to serving the Imperium, no matter the cost. In a sense, the Legion had been remade, driven by a renewed sense of duty and a determination to withstand the darkness of their past. In times of great uncertainty, the Dark Angels faced challenges that tested their loyalty and resolve. They understood that mere devotion was insufficient, especially in such tumultuous periods. Sworn to absolute secrecy, all members of the Legion pledged to conceal the details of what transpired on Caliban, or the atrocities committed by the Dark Angels, including the loss of tens of thousands of their support personnel. Astropaths, tech priests, and others remained hidden from the wider Imperium. Over time, even official records of those devastating events faded into obscurity, effectively erased from history. In addition to their oath of silence, the senior commanders established a clandestine group known as the Inner Circle, which operated beyond the reach of normal oversight. Despite the perilous circumstances, this secret council offered certain strategic advantages. The Imperium launched numerous investigations into the chapter, but the extensive losses and the chapter's discreet nature made it nearly impossible to uncover the truth. They could not easily account for Caliban's destruction, nor for the significant depletion of forces and ships, but no concrete evidence emerged. The chaos within the Imperium and the presence of traitors and alien threats persisted for decades, allowing doubts to remain about the true story of Caliban's fate. The Dark Angels' secluded behavior was largely attributed to their heavy losses, and they continued their vital mission of defending humanity. During this period, they actively sought new worlds for recruitment and reinforced their fleets for upcoming campaigns. These efforts led to countless battles, many of which have been lost to history, buried in data archives or forgotten in neglected corners of the galaxy. Nonetheless, their reputation as unwavering warriors endured. The Legion's steadfastness was reinforced through these years and remains a core aspect of their legacy. Later, the Dark Angels discovered that many of the fallen, those brothers who had turned against the chapter, had survived the calamity on Caliban. This revelation introduced a new vulnerability. Any of the fallen could potentially reveal what truly happened there, yet it also provided an opportunity for the Dark Angels to seek redemption. By hunting down and eliminating the fallen, they could achieve absolution. Following Horus's rebellion, the shattered Imperium was in chaos. During this tumultuous period, the Inner Circle was formed, a secret alliance of the chapter's most senior warriors. Convinced that the secrets of Caliban must be kept at all costs, they swore every surviving member to unwavering silence. They understood that the pervasive paranoia within the Imperium could easily lead to accusations of treachery against the Dark Angels, risking total exile. Despite intense scrutiny, the truth about Caliban's destruction remained concealed, their secrecy a vital shield for the chapter's survival and unity. The vast extent of the difficulties faced by nearly every imperial world and its numerous divisions was often concealed, making it unlikely for the Sons of the Lions to undergo the intense scrutiny that might have uncovered their legion's concealed truth. Instead, the inner circle gradually formed over many generations, evolving from a collection of ad hoc individuals into an established council. This secretive assembly ensured that the Dark Angel's ways remained increasingly cloistered and ritualistic, emphasizing strict discipline, order, and brotherhood, similar to the principles adopted by the chapters founded in the Second Founding. After the Dark Angel's adherence to the Codex Astartes, they took measures to avoid raising suspicion, which reduced the number of warriors who remembered the tragic events involving Caliban. The dark secret of that grim chapter era was preserved only in the memories of later generations, specifically within the inner circle's most trusted members. To this day, only the Deathwing's most senior officers, such as master tacticians, interrogators, chaplains, and librarians, possess any genuine knowledge of the chapter's hidden past, and most of them remain largely ignorant of the full extent of the secret history. Ezekiel is a figure of unwavering severity and reserve, who rarely utters anything beyond chapter rituals or during crucial interrogations of the fallen. Even the most confident among his brothers feel unsettled by his piercing gaze, for he possesses the rare ability to read others' intentions. A single glance into his good eye, his other replaced by a bionic eye after the Battle of the Sularan Gate, can seem to penetrate the soul, revealing disturbing truths or hidden motivations. It is this skill that makes him indispensable when determining the worthiness of potential inner circle members, as both candidates and their supporters are wary of Ezekiel's probing. Stories tell of those who failed to meet his exacting standards or whose minds couldn't withstand his psychic scrutiny. They are said to have vanished or been confined in dark cells, though such tales are neither confirmed nor denied. Only those with purest hearts believe themselves truly deserving of elevation to the inner circle. Ezekiel was discovered on Delina 3, scarred and branded in a dark, sunless place by Dark Angel forces during their purge of heretics. Recognizing his extraordinary psychic potential, veteran Librarius members sensed his talent radiating from many miles away. Ezekiel advanced rapidly through the ranks of the Librarius, surpassing his peers within a decade due to his formidable power. Eventually, he was promoted to Grand Master of the Librarius, an honor bestowed upon him when his predecessor stepped down, thus earning his role as Keeper of the Keys, with the authority to open nearly all portals in the Fortress Monastery. The locations he is forbidden to access remain unknown, but his duties ensure he roams freely across the chapter's strongest bastions, guarding secrets that shape the future of the Dark Angels. Within the shadowed corridors and labyrinthine passages of the rocks, Master Lazarus could sense areas obscured from his psychic perception, protected by ancient and obscure esoteric technologies. A crucial aspect of his duty involves safeguarding the Book of Salvation, within which the names of all captured fallen are inscribed, written in the traitor's own blood. While most archangels remain unaware of the true significance of this artifact, they are prepared to risk their lives to defend it. As keeper of the unseen ritual, Lazarus is entrusted with preserving the hidden knowledge of the ancient orders of Caliban, much of which remains confined to the inner circle. Over recent years, Lazarus has more than proven his worth, participating in countless battles against the forces of chaos, most notably fighting alongside the Grey Knights against Magnus the Red. His actions defending the Rock from relentless demonic invasions earned him the respect of his superiors. Once a sergeant of the 5th Company, Lazarus's fierce dedication was evident when he fought to keep his revered home from falling into chaos's grasp. His thirst for vengeance grew after witnessing the corrupting influence that tainted his station. By the time of the Stygia campaign, Lazarus had advanced to command the 5th Company and gained entry into the inner circle. Though eager to confront the arch-enemy's legions, he maintained a disciplined and composed leadership, which prevented the calamity at Reich from spiraling into a complete rout. Still, he was gravely wounded in the melee. His injuries were so severe that the only way to save his life was to undergo a perilous crossing through the Rubicon Primaris. Surviving this ordeal, Lazarus returned, clad in new war gear, including the Spirit Shield helm, an ancient relic bestowed upon him by Dark Angel's Tech Marines. Embedded into the helm is a shard from one of Caliban's legendary stone guardians, creating a mystical warding field that shields Lazarus and nearby warriors from all but the most devastating assaults. Witnessing too many battle brothers fall to the horrors of the warp fuels his relentless resolve. His calm is only broken during campaigns against the enemies of mankind. Lazarus's most defining moment came during a daring assault alongside the Grey Knights on the planet of the Sorcerers, aiming to dismantle a nefarious ritual conducted by Magnus the Red. Although the mission succeeded, the victory came at great cost. Many dark angels were slain or forced to retreat. The shame of these losses and his enduring hatred of chaos and the Thousand Suns burn fiercely within him. Across all ranks of his chapter's hierarchy, the Dark Angels uphold ancient rites and traditions, from the Feast of Malediction and the Rite of Sins Renounced, to the 3-day mind chant of the Iron Penance and the recital of the Liturgy of the Thrice Avenged. Most of these sacred ceremonies are led by the chapter's chaplains and often accompanied by company masters. Some rites are discreet, involving only small cloaked groups, while others are grander, conducted before entire companies or even the whole chapter, each serving to instruct, reaffirm oaths, or invoke mysterious powers that inspire awe among initiates. The solemn rituals of the Dark Angels are marked by gravity and purpose, reflective of their unwavering dedication to their cause. For the Sons of the Lion, every ceremony holds deeper meaning, whether all participants fully grasp its significance or not. The true depths of these traditions are revealed when a dark angel joins the inner circle, gaining access to the chapter's deepest secrets. In that moment of revelation, all the lessons, rites, and legends converge into a singular, overwhelming truth, one that underscores their relentless devotion to their customs. Through these ancient ceremonies, the chapter's leaders seek to forge their brethren into stronger individuals, mentally, physically, and spiritually, especially amid the galaxy's chaos and the pervasive influence of the warp. These rites have gained heightened importance in the ongoing hunt for the fallen, whose continued existence remains a grievous injury to the Dark Angel's honor. Their goal is clear: to root out every traitor and wipe out the stain upon their chapter's honor, restoring what was lost. The fallen brothers, once true sons of the Lion, remain a persistent threat, forever linked to the tragedy that befell Caliban. Many believe they are all eradicated, having been consumed during the warp storm that shattered their home world. Nonetheless, the discovery of psychic signatures tied to the fallen by the chapter's librarians confirmed that some still live, drawn into the wider galaxy. Despite this revelation, the masters of the Dark Angels remain stoic, aware of the danger these traitors pose, should they choose to reveal chapter secrets or undermine their mission. The fallen are both a threat and a potential path to redemption, should they be captured and compelled to repent. This pursuit has become a clandestine mission for the Dark Angels, driving them for thousands of years. Each of the fallen found their own way of surviving after their ejection into the void of the warp. Many embraced chaos, becoming heretics and demagogues, some ascending to demonic heights, leading armies or raiding worlds. Others scattered across the galaxy, some even slipping through time, their souls enduring millennia in ways that drove many to madness. The deep trauma and loss fueled their destructive acts, unleashing chaos and violence driven by memories unaffected by the passing epochs. Not all fallen remain warriors akin to those who once battled for Luther. Many have fallen into darkness, seeking their own twisted forms of survival and power. Following the conclusion of their relentless search, some of those who escaped Caliban emerged with the knowledge and skills necessary to produce Space Marines. A few factions even gained access to the resources needed to do so. Over the millennia, certain fallen groups managed to rebuild their strength and compensate for losses suffered long ago. To the inner circles of the unforgiven, these groups pose a grave threat. Every new Space Marine created by these factions pushes the Dark Angels' efforts at redemption further away and makes their clandestine operations increasingly difficult to uncover. Some fallen individuals regret their past deeds, leading lonely existence either as mercenaries or by blending into secretive segments of the Imperium, to pursue aims they deem noble. The relentless pursuit of these traitors remains a top priority, and it endures unwaveringly until all are brought to justice. Yet, despite the decades of effort, the Dark Angels' vigilant patrols often find no immediate signs of sedition, even as they investigate every battlefield for subtle hints of corruption or illicit enhancements. Most Archangels lack full awareness of what exactly they seek. Only the inner circle members understand the delicate clues that could identify the fallen. The Unforgiven also employ an extensive network of agents, known as the Watchers, responsible for monitoring the galaxy's vast reaches. These agents, numbering tens of thousands, are secretly embedded in various societies and unaware of their true allegiance. They serve the Dark Angels without knowing it. Most lead normal lives, hidden deep within hive spires, aboard void-crossing vessels or elsewhere, and rarely encounter information capable of prompting action. However, if such agents stumble upon critical intelligence, they follow strict, prearranged protocols to ensure the information reaches the chapter. Their communications are so subtle that, even if intercepted, they appear insignificant. Sometimes fallen are captured by other Imperial forces without knowledge of their identities, with many dismissing the stories these prisoners tell as heretical lies. Over the years, several inquisitorial safe houses have fallen silent after mysterious raids, their captives disappearing without a trace. Fallen who are captured by the Dark Angels are taken to the Rock, where they undergo brutal interrogation and are forced to repent. Many die quickly during this process, while others endure prolonged agony, cursing their fate. Some accept their punishment, viewing it as retribution for their past, whereas others hope for future salvation through their memories being taken into the warp after death. Since the destruction of Caliban and the fracturing of their former homeworld, the Dark Angels have had no fixed planet of their own, especially after Luther's rebellion shattered their original world. The rock, once called Caliban, is all that remains of a world now lost to time, surrounded by lush forests and honeycombed with complex tunnels and chambers. This colossal fortress is carved from solid stone and equipped with mighty engines, surpassing the size of the heaviest Imperial warships. It boasts an array of formidable defensive weaponry, vast docking bays, and extensive energy barriers that trace its immense structure. After the catastrophic warp storm that ravaged Caliban, the Dark Angels adopted the rock as their new bastion. Although shielded by ancient defenses, the fortress bears scars from the tempest. Cracks mar the protective field, and a persistent disturbance reveals itself as if remnants of that storm still echo within the barrier, with lightning flickering across the artificial atmosphere like ghostly flashes outlining the ruins atop the massive vessel. Within these hallowed halls, the Dark Angels scoured abandoned dungeons and corridors below the fortress, reclaiming machinery from a forgotten age of human ingenuity. Many of these ancient devices remained functional, including a colossal shield generator of mysterious design. Despite the enormous size of the complex, artisans and tech priests tirelessly excavated deeper, carving vast catacombs beneath the bedrock to accommodate the relics and remnants of the Legion, creating chambers with towering columns and grand vaulted ceilings to house sacred heirlooms. Over centuries, docks were added, allowing spacecraft to dock and depart. Finally, the fortress was fitted with warp engines, enabling the Legion's headquarters to traverse the galaxy at will. The interior of the rock features halls rich with intricate sculptures and ceremonial chambers, yet it remains a stark, foreboding place. Its massive size, heavy weaponry, and the fleet of Dark Angel ships give it an undeniable aura of defiance against any threat, virtually impregnable in the eyes of its defenders. However, recent times have cast a shadow upon this mighty fortress, for it has become tainted by the encroaching presence of the enemies of humanity. Following the invasion led by Noctis Eterna, the fallen demon prince Marbas and his demonic legion struck the rock, escaping destruction as swiftly as they arrived. The circumstances of this assault remain a profound mystery to the Dark Angels, with their scholars, librarians, and technical experts diligently investigating under the orders of their supreme leader Azrael. The damage inflicted was severe, and the forceful intrusion left lingering scars within the fortress. Yet only Azrael holds the understanding of why such a swift assault occurred and why it ended so suddenly. The knowledge of secret truths, known only to him, might hold the key to comprehending the recent breach, a mystery that continues to weigh heavily on the minds of those sworn to protect this sacred stronghold. Each chapter of The Unforgiven is governed by a council led by the Supreme Grand Master, supported by the most senior members of the Inner Circle. This council includes the Grand Masters of the First and Second Companies, Reclusium and Librarius, along with several company masters. Some of these masters hold titles derived from the Codex Astartes, such as Master of the Fleet or Master of the Arsenal, while others bear unique titles specific to their chapters, like Keeper of the Unseen or Master of Condemnation. Not all titles are actively used at once, and many serve ceremonial roles whose original purpose has long been forgotten or deliberately suppressed. While the chapters mainly adhere to the organizational principles of the Codex Astartes, deviations occur within the first two companies of the Dark Angels. These companies are known as the Deathwing and Ravenwing, and rumors suggest they do not conform to the standard size of 100 Space Marines. The chapter's Forge Master is called the Master of the Rock. Upon assuming this role, they are permanently linked to the ship's control nexus hidden deep within the fortress. It's their solemn duty to oversee the vessel's machine spirits and maintain its engines, enabling the rock to traverse the galaxy. Only the Master of the Rock perceives the workings of the formidable defensive force field surrounding the ship, thanks to their intense auger sensors monitoring every inch of its outer shell. The previous masters, whose physical forms have long since withered, remain in place, their cybernetic enhancements still functioning, while their bones decay into dust below. Due to their loyalty to both the chapter and the Adeptus Mechanicus, traditional tech marines are barred from joining the Inner Circle, including the Master of the Rock. Nonetheless, they possess access to many secrets related to the fortress's ancient and extensive technological treasury, known to few other Dark Angels. When new tech marines are inducted as servants of the Machine God, they receive strict instructions. The upper sections of the ancient fortress monastery, the vault at the end of the Hall of Silence, and the Chamber of Secrets are off limits. They are also warned to ignore strange signals emanating from storms over the ruins surrounding the rock. The rapid expansion of the Unforgiven following the Ultima founding sent shockwaves across the chapter's ranks almost overnight. Thousands of Space Marines who had not undergone the usual rigorous trials of the Dark Angels and their successors, often recruits from other chapters, joined their ranks. Moreover, new chapters emerged using the gene seed of L. Johnson's Geneseed stock. While some of the original Unforgiven remained loyal to their Primarch's teachings, others viewed the newcomers and the newly formed chapters with suspicion, reflecting ongoing tensions within the chapter's complex history. Over the years, these formidable warriors proved their prowess in battle, earning Azrael's trust to consider induction into the Inner Circle, provided they demonstrated their worth. His reasons for this decision remain a closely guarded secret, as few understand fully his thoughts on the mysterious events rumored to unfold in the realms of the Somnium stars. The Ravenwing, cloaked in black and masters of lightning-fast warfare, is renowned for their speed and agility, making them a vital component of the Dark Angels' battlefield tactics and a key element in their clandestine missions. The Ravenwing constitutes the chapter's second company, a specialized unit that excels in rapid assault, deploying in advanced vehicles operated by the chapter's most skilled riders and pilots. Recruits are carefully chosen for their ability to maneuver at top speeds and are given intensive training to unlock even more extraordinary tactics, often developing new formations unique to their company. Newly inducted warriors quickly learn to synchronize with the beat of the unfurled wing, mastering swift strikes, precision jabs, and slashing moves within months of joining, continually pushing their limits and refining their skills. Typically, the Ravenwing supports other Dark Angel strike forces, often participating in reconnaissance and quick response operations, bringing intelligence back to the main force. At times, they organize specialized strike teams for missions of strategic importance. Their combat style is swift and aggressive, When they engage, they launch with explosive speed, streaking into the enemy with thunderous acceleration. Their squadrons, composed of bikes, land speeders, storm speeders, invader ATVs, and other fast vehicles, quickly disintegrate enemy formations through a blend of attack patterns, flanking, harassing, and encircling, adopting a fluid, relentless approach to warfare. This agility allows them to engage larger forces efficiently, wearing them down through constant pressure. A crucial asset for the Ravenwing is their teleport homers, devices that permit Deathwing Terminators to arrive precisely where needed, swiftly delivering devastating strikes against already weakened foes. This capacity underscores their role within the chapter, hunting down the fallen. Unlike other units, only the Grand Master and Black Knights share the knowledge of this secret mission, emphasizing its importance. Each Ravenwing warrior must possess exceptional skill and unwavering dedication to the chapter. Few members are as exposed to the insidious lies of the fallen, making their unwavering loyalty and sharp instincts vital. Their relentless pursuit and mastery of rapid operations make the Ravenwing an elite and vital part of the Dark Angel's ongoing crusade. The Ravenwing's warriors are rigorously scrutinized to prevent any weakness in their indoctrination or spiritual stability. Their loyalty and mental clarity are constantly monitored to ensure unwavering discipline. The Talon Masters serve as the Ravenwing's equivalent of lieutenants, often rising from the ranks of the Black Knights. They are chosen for their dedication to the hunt and their natural aptitude for leadership, but must also possess independence of thought. This independence is crucial because they frequently assume command of small detachments tasked with swift, devastating flanking maneuvers or covert operations. Those who survive long enough within the Ravenwing typically develop exceptional skills in mobile combat, elevating their proficiency to new heights. To join the elite Black Knights and be initiated into the inner circle, candidates must pass the 7 rites of the Raven, a brutal series of rites that test their mastery as well as their loyalty to the chapter. Upon successful completion, they undertake a solemn ritual culminating in the vow of the Beast Slayer, revealing the true purpose behind the Ravenwing's relentless pursuit. Whether operating solo or leading a seasoned corps within a larger spearhead, the Black Knights, mounted on MK4 Raven pattern bikes, represent the pinnacle of the chapter's striking force. Although the Dark Angels seldom boast about their battlefield conquests, the Black Knights' reputation for combat excellence is well known among their brethren. Their legendary prowess is often whispered about with awe. The early development of the land speeder Vengeance, part of the larger story of the chapter's ancient relics, played a significant role in their arsenal. This engine, with its advanced STC design, was discovered in M36 and became the foundation for the creation of the infamous Dark Shroud, an unusual and terrifying device. Witnesses who have seen the Dark Shroud in action report feeling a profound sense of unease that lingers long after. Its origins trace back to a cataclysmic warp storm that ravaged the planet Caliban, ripping it apart while much of the surface was protected by an immense ancient force field. Though this shield endured, it permitted a contaminant to breach its perimeter amidst the debris of the destroyed fortress monastery. Among the remnants were stone statues, carved figures from a bygone era, whose eyes, imbued with the energies released during the catastrophe, glow with a mysterious light. Known as the Brothers of the Order, these statues were placed into stasis inside the rock for many years. It was only during the Desperate Vendetta campaign that the Dark Angels finally harnessed their arcane power on the battlefield. Mounted upon the chases of land speeders like Vengeance, these stone guardians became a formidable element of their adaptive tactics, illuminating the chapter's deep, ancient roots and relentless pursuit of their foes. Ancient cables drew off the mysterious energies of the relic, creating a vast, unpredictable field that emanated from its core. This powerful aura shielded the Ravenwing brothers from enemy fire, a safeguard that concealed their operations. The chapter's 2nd and 3rd squads, known for their size and agility, traditionally served as pilots for the chapter's elite aerial fighters, including the sleek Dark Talons and Nephilim jetcrafts. Unique to the Dark Angels, these fighters are renowned for their speed and equipped with arcane esoteric weaponry. Yet, Their most formidable feature isn't solely their armament, but a dark, hidden chamber within each craft, a chamber little more than a metallic tomb, echoing with whispers, whispering secrets of ages long past. Captured enemies, notably fallen angels, are sometimes loaded into these chambers for transport, where they are subjected to containment methods that prevent escape, such as stasis fields. This process can be a merciful choice or a grim necessity, as the captives are left isolated in a shadowed burial space, their minds tormented by the voices of those lost, knowing that a far worse fate awaits on the chapter's homeworld. The Nephilim jet fighter's technology, dubbed the Lionheart engine, was uncovered during a mission hunting suspected fallen agents. Engineers adapted older designs, leaving many core elements intact, resulting in a highly nimble craft capable of dominating the skies. Under the guidance of Ravenwing Battle Brothers, the Nephilim was continually refined, evolving into a vessel capable of challenging nearly any opponent across the galaxy. Among the chapter's greatest assets is the Deathwing, celebrated as one of the most formidable fighting forces within the Imperium. Clad in impenetrable Terminator armor and wielding powerful weapons and ancient relic shields, they serve as the chapter's ultimate strike force. Their reputation for ruthless effectiveness strikes fear into foes. Simply seeing their bone-white armor can cause enemies to retreat in terror. The Dark Angels possess such formidable resources that they can fully equip their first company, the Deathwing, with cutting-edge technology and gear, including the legendary neon armor, delta power weapons wreathed in lightning, and towering relic shields, all members of the Inner Circle. The Deathwing's primary mission often involves capturing and neutralizing the Fallen, a task demanding the highest levels of skill, loyalty, and discipline. Only the most dedicated Dark Angels are accepted into their ranks. To be accepted, candidates must survive rigorous trials that test them mentally, physically, and spiritually. These include undergoing the March of the Shattered Crowns, flawlessly performing the 13 blade sequences of the ARG Inspire, and memorizing and reciting a lengthy invocation in Old Caliban, a cryptic text that remains largely untranslated. Only after completing these demanding rites to the satisfaction of their superiors do candidates begin to uncover the truths of Luther, gradually and carefully disclosed in tightly controlled evaluations. During their times of ridicule and scorn, the shame and contempt felt by the Deathwing only intensify. These emotions fuel their growing anger and deep-seated hatred, driving them relentlessly to pursue the Fallen and deliver the chapter's ultimate justice and redemption. Such a mindset fosters unwavering loyalty and transforms its followers into devoted, unquestioning warriors. They are prepared to follow every order, regardless of its ruthlessness or moral ambiguity. The Deathwing operate as a formidable assault force designed for swift, decisive strikes that shatter their enemies quickly. Their tactics include precision teleportation attacks, often aimed at the enemy's most exposed points, or rapid assaults using heavily armored vehicles like land raiders and repulsors. Their hallmark is delivering impeccably timed strikes that are nearly impossible to thwart, giving them victory in countless battles over the centuries. When not actively engaging the Fallen, Deathwing warriors undertake the most perilous missions. They board infested space hulks, conduct unsupported surprise attacks, or confront devastating enemies, possessed horrors, alien monstrosities, massive demonic engines, and other otherworldly horrors that haunt the galaxy. Most Dark Angel strike forces include a contingent of Deathwing, not only because of their seasoned combat prowess, but also because they are capable of secret missions outside the chain of command. Those who join the Deathwing and learn the chapter's deepest secrets believe they have uncovered all there is about the Dark Angel's past. Yet they are mistaken. They have merely entered the threshold of the Inner Circle, with greater truths awaiting them when they are deemed ready. New warriors are taught to accept only excellence in combat, discipline, humility, and altruism, values that they hold above all else. They care little for their reputation or how others view them, viewing arrogance and insincerity as signs of weakness, akin to those of Luther and his followers. They see their skills as the basic minimum necessary to fulfill their mission, and they feel no remorse, compassion, or fear, only unwavering devotion to their chapter. The Deathwing Knights, the most elite among the First Company, exemplify this dedication. Clad in dark armor, they project a commanding presence, embodying silent strength and a quiet nobility reminiscent of the Lion himself. Within the hierarchical structure of the Dark Angels, few stand higher than these knights, and many aspire to join their ranks someday. Mere battlefield prowess does not suffice for entry. A Deathwing warrior must be utterly devoted to the chapter and obsessively committed to the secret hunt for the fallen. When a warrior is judged worthy, he begins his journey toward becoming part of this legendary tier. Within the hallowed halls of the Chamber of Judgments, an individual faces a series of personalized trials designed to test their strength, resolve, and unwavering loyalty to the chapter. Only after surpassing these grueling challenges can they earn the coveted title of Knight. The appearance of Deathwing Knights on a battlefield is a rare and ominous sign. They are seldom dispatched without a critical purpose or a significant threat. Usually summoned for pivotal moments, they teleport into the fray at the final confrontations to eliminate the gravest adversaries, often bringing destruction to formidable war machines, massive alien creatures, despotic rulers, or monstrous fiends. The presence of these elite warriors signals that the opposition has reached its peak of danger. While their primary role is to eradicate major threats, Deathwing Knights may sometimes be supported by their more experienced and higher-ranked officers, the Strike Masters. These officers serve crucial functions beyond direct combat. They act as lieutenants of strategic importance. One of their vital duties is overseeing the prison facilities deep within the rock, where some of the most treacherous enemies and dangerous relics are kept secure. Managing these cells is a task too perilous for ordinary Marines or even trusted servants, given the immense danger posed by the prisoners. Only the chapter's most formidable heroes are deemed capable of such responsibilities. It is the Strike Masters who are tasked with recording the names of all prisoners, inscribing them thrice onto the pages of the Volatus with a black quill, and subsequently erasing those names when the detainee's sentence ends. They are also responsible for cleansing the cells after executions, performing sacred rites involving the 121 canticles of the Argent Crows, ensuring the sanctity of the space. Depending on the nature of the prisoners, the Strike Masters select and organize the guards, carefully rotating between various special units such as the Black Shrouds or Bloody Claws, among dozens of other specialized teams developed through countless centuries. Their authority extends to the careful allocation of cells within the rock, which are tailored to the specific threats posed by each detainee. Not all prisoners are fallen space marines. Some are cunning alien Xenos, confined in soundproofed cells created with ancient technology designed to prevent any communication or manipulation. Others are powerful rogue psychers whose cells are lined with silver and psychic nullifiers to suppress their abilities. A select few are former agents of sleeper cells brought in for interrogation and, once deemed no longer useful, executed. Despite their differences, all these prisoners share two fundamental traits. Each possesses, in some minimal way, knowledge related to the fallen, and none will leave alive. Securing these cells involves more than ordinary locks. Many are activated only through specific rituals, spoken in rare languages known to only a few. Some are accessed only during designated cycles or when a rare incense is burned nearby. Still others are sealed with rune sequences requiring thousands of characters to unlock, ensuring that only the most trusted individuals can gain access. The intricate security measures reflect the crucial importance of containing what might threaten the chapter's very existence. Throughout history, select vehicles have been honored with a special designation reserved for the most distinguished warriors of the Dark Angels chapter. Many of these battle tanks and land raiders, particularly those that have served the chapter the longest or achieved notable feats, are granted the prestigious status of being part of the Deathwing. Their hulls are painted in a distinctive bone white, with emblems and markings of the chapter emblazoned upon them, signifying their exclusive use by the First Company. Veteran dreadnoughts also bear the sacred bone-white armor of the Deathwing, their occupants having served with exceptional distinction before being laid to rest. These warriors often carry stories of the chapter's secret pursuits spanning thousands of years, having fought in countless battles and witnessed events most others cannot comprehend. It is not uncommon for members of the Inner Circle, the chapter's inner authority, to visit the lower bays of the armory, seeking guidance from the wise and experienced veterans. One such leader is Samuel, the 348th to hold the position of Grand Master of the Raven Wing, and he has devoted over a century to this role, an unusually long tenure. The Raven Wing has suffered more losses of its masters than any other company in the chapter, reflecting the high-risk, high-reward nature of their operations. Samuel was the youngest soldier ever accepted into the Raven Wing, chosen by Grand Master Gideon from the Ethereal Company early in his career, after demonstrating remarkable skill in combating orcs, Terran, and traitors. His early successes led to his induction into the Inner Circle and later into the Black Knights, following his combat against Elori pirates on Khan Betis, where the chapter's forces endured relentless harassment from Xenos raiders. After the defeat of the Elari uprising, Samuel interrogated captured rebels and uncovered that a figure named Cypher was behind the insurrection. This discovery contributed to his promotion to the Inner Circle. During the Kapua uprising, a brutal conflict against heretical forces from the Black Legion and Wordbearers, the Raven Wing fought fiercely, and Grand Master Gideon was mortally wounded. Before dying, the elder leader declared Samuel his successor, passing him the Raven Sword, a weapon carried by all Raven Wing Grand Masters, forged from the same meteorite as the Sword of Secrets, the symbol of the chapter's supreme master. Samuel is recognized for his daring and often reckless boldness, preferring to confront enemies head-on and wield the Raven Sword to cut down foes swiftly. Such fearless tactics are crucial for a warrior leading a company specializing in rapid, aggressive strikes and surprise maneuvers. Despite his aggressive style, Samuel excels at orchestrating feints, distracting enemies, and controlling the battlefield with strategic finesse. Samuel, a master among his peers, employs cunning tactics such as traps and advanced teleportation devices in his relentless pursuit of the enemy. Recognizing that true victory often depends on calling in reinforcements, he understands the importance of collaboration, especially with the Raven Wing, an elite unit of Dark Angels trusted to carry teleport homers. These devices enable Deathwing Terminators to be swiftly deployed into critical battle zones, and among them, Samuel is renowned for his daring precision in placing these crucial tools. Despite his daring, he remains steadfast in his duties, never allowing personal pride to overshadow his responsibilities, embodying the honorable spirit of a true warrior of the Dark Angels. Throughout his career, Samuel has achieved numerous victories, so numerous that they are difficult to recount. He played a pivotal role in eradicating a dangerous infestation in the Quivar system, transforming its former thriving merchant cities into desolate ruins. He also cleansed the planet Lentis Orium of enslavers who had corrupted its leadership, securing vital resources that sustained much of the sector. Against the Onyx Tyrant of Santa Claus, a fallen-turned tyrant, Samuel demonstrated exceptional bravery, turning a once pristine paradise into a brutal battleground. Few of his Ravenwing brothers knew this tyrant was a member of the Fallen, haunted by his past misdeeds for over 2 millennia since the Great Rift's emergence. As the galaxy's turmoil intensified, it became increasingly difficult for Samuel to hide the presence of the Fallen among his warriors not inducted into the Inner Circle. The surge in Fallen activity fueled his resolve to track down those who had escaped his grasp. His pursuit of justice drives him, and his determination to bring every last Fallen to account has never been stronger. As Grand Master of the Deathwing, Samuel's countless deeds of valor have cemented his reputation as one of the chapter's most loyal and distinguished paladins. His history is a testament to a warrior destined for greatness. The chronicles of his life, locked away for safekeeping, serve as lessons for future Grand Masters, recounting his many victories and illuminating the path for generations to come. Born on the semi-feudal world of Burgundia, Samuel was raised among the noble order known as the Society of the Eben Star. From infancy, he was imbued with a deep sense of honor and duty. When a Dark Angels chaplain arrived seeking new aspirants, young Samuel challenged him to single combat. Though he was unaugmented and ultimately defeated, his courage made a lasting impression. Recognized for his resolve, he was swiftly recruited. He carried with him the same unwavering determination, excelling in all aspects of his training. His ascent to Master of the Third Company came after he defeated the Chaos Lord Furion of the Skullsides in single combat. Furion, a follower of Khorne, had already ravaged 17 star systems when Samuel faced him. The Third Company, under his leadership, began constructing defenses within the vast Temple Saturnus, demonstrating the chapter's resilience and discipline. Each victory and achievement underscored his exceptional qualities and steadfast commitment to the chapter's crusade. In the chaos of battle, Lord's relentless bloodlust drove his forces through the night, catching the Dark Angels off guard. Intense combat erupted across corridors, cloisters, and chambers, where the enemy fought fiercely. Early in the engagement, Master Nadel fell amidst the chaos, prompting Belial, acting on his command, to order a strategic withdrawal. Leading a rear guard into the labyrinth, he fought fiercely, striking down Fury in combat. It was ultimately Azrael himself who appointed him as Bel-El, Master of the Third Company, and awarded him the Sword of Silence, an esteemed blade forged from the same meteorite as the Sword of Secrets, traditionally bestowed upon the chapter's bravest warrior. Bel-El gained further prominence during the Battle of Pino 4, defending the world's capital, Catalyst Harbor. There he commanded the Third Company in a prolonged delaying action against a green-skin horde led by Gaz Thaka, who outnumbered his forces thousands to one. Wounded while facing the mighty Orc chieftain, he nonetheless continued to lead his warriors through weeks of fierce resistance. His tenacity allowed the rest of the Dark Angels chapter to arrive in time to secure the area. For his heroism, he was promoted to Grand Master of the Deathwing, succeeding Gabriel. Despite his numerous victories, Bel-El remains modest, often reflecting on his setbacks and failures, which he attributes partly to his strict upbringing and the chapter's stern discipline. His leadership style is similarly rigorous. He enforces individualized acts of penance, whether through intense drills or arduous rites of atonement, each warrior accepting their unique challenge as a path to self-improvement. This disciplined approach has earned him unwavering loyalty within the chapter, transforming skeptics into devoted followers. Under his command, the chapter has achieved extraordinary objectives, such as destroying the labyrinthine seabed fortress of Akoth, annihilating the 100 orbital cities of El, and cleansing the scorching deserts of Aspor. His combat style emphasizes efficiency and brutal strength over display or flourish. Every strike and parry is precise and decisive, and his battlefield tactics are similarly relentless. Winning battles in destructive cityscapes, fierce boarding actions, and grueling space Hulk confrontations across all conditions of war. Interrogator chaplains, figures shrouded in silence and menace, command quiet respect, even from their battle brothers. During the complex ceremonies held in the Hall of Secrets, they undergo rigorous tests of faith, take the solemn vows of the Deathwing, and learn the dark truths of the chapter's history. These warriors, once ordinary brothers, are transformed through their oaths, shedding remnants of their former selves and becoming the fierce, silent enforcers of the chapter's unyielding will. As the years pass, the gap between brothers in the chapter widens dramatically. Once close allies and rivals in countless battles, they now barely exchange greetings, restricted to formal words and gestures. The camaraderie that once defined them has given way to cold professionalism, particularly among those who have assumed roles as interrogator chaplains. These warriors, previously noted for their joviality, become guardians of a ruthless discipline, their demeanor shifting into profound silence once they take on their duties. Interrogator chaplains dedicate themselves entirely to uncovering signs of heresy or weakness, both within their own chapter and beyond. Their relentless pursuit of truth exposes a dark and troubling history that deeply alters their outlook, as learning of their brother's vulnerabilities is an unsettling experience. Yet, their memories of past betrayals only strengthen their resolve, for their primary obligation is to extract confessions from captured enemies, especially fallen, by any means necessary. Even for seasoned combatants accustomed to violence, the acts they are compelled to perform are harrowing. They must maintain unwavering mental resilience to carry out prolonged interrogations, often over many weeks, during which the prisoners, the fallen, unleash heretical rants, lie profusely, and speak of unknown events and individuals. The chaplains listen carefully, sifting through all falsehoods to seek rare truths, all while struggling to retain their own moral integrity. This grueling process leaves scars, but is vital in the chapter's relentless quest for salvation and redemption. Asmodai is the chapter's master interrogator chaplain and the primary figure of discipline and penitence. His skills in torture and questioning first gained recognition during the Markarian heresy, where he relentlessly interrogated rebel leaders. His unwavering determination and ruthlessness in hunting the traitor responsible for ambushes earned him a place in the inner circle. Choosing to serve as an interrogator, Asmodai built a fearsome reputation among the Dark Angels and even among their enemies, the Fallen. Many traitors know of him and dread his relentless, unrepentant interrogations, which leave little room for mercy. Asmodai rewards no weakness, and his focus remains solely on the chapter's objectives and the brutal realities of warfare. His actions can sometimes seem beyond reproach, as he ordered the orbital bombardment of the city of Hostengard to prevent a single traitor's escape, showing that the destruction of countless innocents was a necessary evil in his eyes. Over time, he has often concealed or downplayed these decisions to protect the chapter's reputation. Yet, such uncompromising measures highlight his unwavering commitment to duty and the chapter's survival, no matter the moral cost. Within the 10th company of the chapter, the seasoned interrogator chaplain oversaw the induction of new recruits. His methods were unmitigated by any attempts at mercy or leniency. Demonstrating ruthless authority, he ordered the execution of all fresh arrivals from the planet Narum following their unsatisfactory responses to his questions, raising concerns about potential contamination of gene stock. Later, upon hearing laughter echoing through the corridors of the Rock, he imposed a penitence of silence on the entire 7th Company, a punishment that lasted a year and a day. During this period, the formation was forbidden from speaking aloud, permitted only to emit sounds like murmurs and whispers. Asmodai's zeal during combat has often strained relationships within the Inquisition and even risked clashes with other Space Marine chapters. Nonetheless, his unwavering commitment to the chapter is beyond challenge, driven by the belief that the objective justifies any method. His intensity fuels the fighting spirit of his comrades, inspiring them to heroic levels of bravery. He led a decisive charge against the traitorous Hellenian 89th, breaking through their defenses and holding the walls of the Fortress of Eternal Devotion. His inspiring speeches resonated across the ravine, rallying their forces as the fortress endured relentless assaults from demonic enemies. In a daring solo assault, Asmodai stormed the barbarian domains of Helan Citadel, where the meta-heretics of Atlantis Nocturnus unleashed the power of their moonsingers, opening the gates for the Ravenwing to strike deep into the enemy's stronghold. Apart from his operational prowess, Asmodai possesses the revered arcanum known as the Blades of Reason, traditionally stored in a sacred reliquary crafted from stone-hewn remnants of ancient Caliban's bedrock. These blades are an ancient arcane device, polished multi-bladed knives engraved with scriptures of repentance. Interwoven cables and neural wires pulse with mysterious technology, capable of amplifying pain beyond endurance. It is said that few survive feeling its full effect, and even the fallen fear this weapon more than death itself. Its power compels victims to beg for forgiveness or their own end, preventing resistance at the moment of agony. Primarily, the Blades of Reason have been wielded by master interrogator chaplains throughout the Imperium's history to incapacitate the most dangerous foes. Among them, Azrael, the Supreme Grand Master of the Dark Angels, stands out as arguably the chapter's most accomplished leader. Renowned for his martial mastery and strategic brilliance, Azrael is deeply committed to the chapter's secret mission, the ongoing hunt for the fallen. While much of his past remains shrouded in mystery, rumors suggest he was recruited from the savage headhunting tribes of Chemia, one of the chapter's many recruitment worlds. His rise through the ranks was swift, consistently exemplifying exceptional combat and leadership skills that cemented his reputation as a formidable warrior and tactician. During his service in the Death Wing, he held the position of captain of the 3rd Company and served as Grand Master before being chosen to succeed Supreme Grand Master Nibarius. As a warrior of the Dark Angels, he is known for being succinct in speech. When he does speak, it is with unwavering conviction and moral certitude. His leadership has earned the absolute trust of his battle brothers through countless fierce conflicts, where he routinely fights at the forefront, taking down the enemies of the Imperium with formidable skill. His mastery of warfare is near unparalleled, adept at coordinating large-scale campaign strategies and executing precise squad tactics. He has commanded warriors from no fewer than 8 successor chapters, demonstrating both strategic versatility and tactical excellence. His actions played a pivotal role in bringing about the downfall of the stellar empire of Eru, a warlord of the Word-Bearers who had imposed a brutal and blasphemous tyranny over a dozen worlds. In stark contrast, Azrael personally led the assault on the hive city of Kini at the head of only a handful of Deathwing squads. Their ruthless assault decimated the rebel leadership that had defied Imperial sieges for years, ending their uprising within hours. Following the disbandment of the original Space Marine legions, the successor chapters of the Dark Angels rapidly conformed to the directives issued by Gillen to dissolve the legions. To do otherwise would have provoked unwanted scrutiny during a period of great chaos. These chapters share a deep connection rooted in shared guilt and purpose, often meeting covertly to exchange battlefield intelligence and uphold ancient traditions. This kinship extends to all successor chapters founded since then, which largely preserve the organizational structure of their parent chapter, including units analogous to the Deathwing and Ravenwing. The Angels of Vengeance identify themselves with the Dreadwing, while their Raptor Wing corresponds to the Ravenwing. Likewise, the Angels of Redemption's 1st and 2nd Companies are named the Red Wings. The Guardians of the Covenant's inner circle is known as the Secret Order, while the Angels of Absolution's covert group bears the insignia of the Hidden Brotherhood, the Insignum Cabanis. Like other chapters of the Adeptus Astartes, the Dark Angels and their successors boast elaborate heraldry inscribed on armor, weapons, banners, and vehicle markings. The organization of the Dark Angels generally adheres to the Codex Astartes, with the 3rd through 10th companies structured along its principles, although the Deathwing's access to a significant number of Terminator suits makes their organization somewhat distinct, resembling the model typically assigned to the 1st Company. The chapters of the Unforgiven display a multitude of heraldic symbols and insignia that have long confounded observers across the Imperium, with attempts at interpretation often proven false upon deeper scrutiny, especially during subsequent engagements. The symbols incorporated are deeply embedded in the ancient imperial legacy, dating back to the era of the Great Crusades and even earlier. They represent a fusion of ancient Caliban nocturnal symbolism and the markings associated with the earliest formations of the First Legion, predating its reunion with the Lion. Over centuries, the meanings and significance of these symbols have gradually shifted. Some have been lost or forgotten, while others have adapted due to battlefield pragmatism. The diverse ways in which these emblems are utilized reflect the unique traditions of various chapters within the Unforgiven, who, for reasons known only to themselves, assign particular importance to certain sigils and insignia,